What's the most important part of a joke? Timing. And Redstone is no different. Often, we find our contraptions need a certain duration of signal at a very specific time, and being off by the tiniest bit can completely change the output we're going for. So how do we adjust that timing? Well, usually, we look to the repeater for answers. A single repeater is very helpful for setting delay anywhere between 1 and 4 ticks. And the more repeaters we have, the longer our delay can be. But the repeater doesn't help us change duration. For instance, I've lost track of how many times I've needed a button to last until I pressed it again. Doors, automatic farms, etc. But I can't always use a lever, either for practical or for aesthetic reasons. But beyond the repeater, it's hard to think of any Redstone devices that actually affect the duration or timing of an existing Redstone signal. So, I guess I'll just make a note of that, and maybe let future Benjamin deal with it. Then again, I do have a habit of procrastinating things and then regretting it later when I actually have to do those things. I'm sure I'll deal with it eventually. Now
I have heeded your summons, and now, bearing my knowledge from the future, I shall...
Hold up. Sup, I'm you in the future. And maybe another timeline. I'm still not quite sure how this thing works. Oh. Awesome. Did you come back to tell me you'd finished designing this? Heck no. I came back to do it in the past so I wouldn't have to do it in the present. Or future, I guess. Oh. Yeah, that tracks actually. Cool. I'll take it from here then. Let's start with turning the lever into the button. First, you'll want to take your... Wait, where is the... What version is this? 2.35.6? Okay, after extensive research, I've figured it out. So if we want to turn the lever into a button, all we need is to set up this system. 4 repeaters, a comparator, some dust, and of course your output, arranged like so. No matter how long the lever is activated, the output is only going to remain active for a set amount of time. This works because of the magic of the comparator. You see, once we hit the trigger, the first repeater and comparator receive signal at the exact same moment. Then 1 tick later, both of them send their signal onward, activating the output and the next repeater. Then another tick passes, or more if we'd set the repeaters to a longer delay. Eventually, the last repeater gets triggered, sending out a fully charged redstone signal that gets run into the side of the comparator. Because this signal, sent from a closer source, is stronger than the main signal, the comparator completely shuts down the output line, effectively allowing us to put a timer on our trigger's duration. And this doesn't just work for levers. Any trigger can be reduced in this way. Buttons, pressure plates, tripwires, you name it. Is it the most useful thing ever? No, but it's got its uses to be sure. But something more helpful, I'd say, is the inverse, making the signal of a button last until it's pressed again. For instance, I've seen a lot of people use buttons for piston doors, but it's not going to stay open long unless you happen to know someone who won't get bored spamming buttons for you. It'd be nice to have a simple fix for that. And this is embarrassing, but hoo boy, I spent way too long on this. I tried to assemble data storages that would let me freeze repeaters in time without using a flux capacitor. I struggled to modify a 2-state circuit that was designed for a lever. Nothing was working. But then I realized I was totally overthinking things. It's like when you're looking for a specific Lego piece, and 10 minutes later you realized there were 5 of them right next to you. You know what I mean. If we want to make a button act like a lever, just build this setup. Yep, it's that simple. Copper bulbs are so underrated as redstone devices. I've already shown one interesting way they can be used in a separate video, where they were a key component in a devious version of a classic landmine. But there you have it, turning a button into a lever, and turning a lever into a button. Now if you'll excuse me, I should probably get back to my own time dimension thing. Great! Thanks for your help, me. Yeah, anytime. And by the way, just in case we are in the same timeline dimension or whatever, watch your step. And don't trust them. Wait, what? Goodbye! I'm sure that's fine.